Hi guys, it's Hani here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to make Mother's Day cookies. Who doesn't like breakfast in bed? And who deserves it more than your mom? Nobody. So today you can learn how to make these cookies and you can surprise your mom with breakfast in bed. Let's get started. So I'm starting with a really cute strawberry using red royal icing, about 15-second consistency, and I'm going to also use dark pink with this design, just to give it a little more interest. Use your needle tool to blend the pink into the red, and then we're going to let this crust. To make the leaves, I'm going to make my own leaf piping tip. Here's just a demonstration just so you can see clearly what I am going to do with my piping bag. So we're gonna cut a V shape. And now we are ready to make the leaves. I'm going to do 3 leaves on a strawberry. Now take some yellow royal icing, about piping consistency, and pipe the seeds. If it's easier, you can just do the dots. Now we're going to make a pretty flower. So actually the cutter I'm using, it's not a mason jar, it's a beer glass cookie cutter, and I just trimmed the side, I trimmed the handle, and it creates a really great shape for the mason jar with a pretty flower. So I used my blue royal icing, 15-second consistency, make the stem with green, let it crust, and now we're gonna start with the flower. I'm starting with bright green center, then using dark pink. All of the icing I'm gonna use for the flower is also 15-second consistency, and here comes the lightest of the pink. And this flower, I'm actually attempting ranunculus. It's such a beautiful flower. I love that flower. And I'm just going to blend the edges a little bit. Use your needle tool. As you get to the center where the green is, try not to get the green everywhere, so make short strokes. Now we're gonna let that crust, and using white royal icing we can make the petals. I'm using about piping consistency royal icing. Now using the green at the leaves, and your beautiful flower is almost finished. I'm just going to add a really nice detail. We're gonna make lace. I'm using piping consistency gray royal icing. Alright, so that was the flower. Second, or actually third design is going to be a cereal bowl. So here I'm making blueberries. You want to use icing that is about 25 to 30 second consistency. Smooth out the top. And to color my icing, I used navy blue, a little bit of black, and also electric purple to get this color. We're gonna have to let that crust, and then we're gonna finish the blueberry. For the cereal, I am using ivory royal icing. And I'm making both blueberries and the cereal as royal icing transfers. So you can see I'm piping on a piece of acetate sheet, and we're gonna let this dry. Because these are rather small, it will only take maybe 4 or 5 hours or so. Here I'm adding slightly darker ivory, and then we're gonna use a needle tool to blend it together. Here I'm using piping consistency blueberry royal icing, and basically you're just gonna try to pipe a star shape on top of the crusted icing. Alright, now we're ready to make the bowl. So I used a really handy edger from Sweet SUGARBELLE to create this shape. Otherwise I used an oval cutter and I just trimmed it with the edger. Use a little marker to draw the outlines, and now we're gonna start with pink royal icing, 15-second consistency. I'm going to flood the bottom section, and then we're going to do wet on wet with white royal icing. I'm going to make polka dots. Now take slightly darker pink and add a layer of icing in this section, and then we're gonna have to let that crust for several hours. You can see our royal icing transfers are ready. They are pretty tiny. I'm going to use a cookie scraper and tweezers to put them on a cookie. I'm using icing that is about 20-second consistency here. I didn't want the icing to be too fluid because then my royal icing transfers, because they're so tiny, I was afraid they were gonna sink into the icing. So use your needle tool to shape the icing and smooth the top, and then we're going to add the cereal and blueberries. You can see how small they are. And you can use your tool, needle tool, or a toothpick to very gently press it into the icing. Alright, so that's done. Let it crust, and then we can do the final outline with pink royal icing, piping consistency, and your cereal bowl will be ready. Another design is a really cute message, and I'm going to make another ranunculus flower. So I'm starting, but it's only a portion of it. So I'm starting in the corner using green, then followed by dark pink, medium pink, and then also the lightest of the pink. Again, these are all about 15-second consistency. Now use your needle tool to shape the icing and to blend the edges. Now take dark teal 15-second consistency royal icing and ice the remaining cookie. Then we're gonna let that crust, and then you can use white royal icing to create the petals, just like we did with a flower cookie in the beginning of the video. And once the icing dries, you can use edible marker and write a message: "Mom, you are the best." Another design is a croissant. I'm using edible marker to draw the outlines, and to cut out this shape I used a paper template and a pen blade. I'm going to use 3 different colors, and they're all 15-second consistency. The outer edge that I'm doing now is, I don't know what that color would be called, but I used orange and a little bit of ivory, and I ended up adding some brown to mute it down even a little more. The center color is just ivory, and I'm using my needle tool to basically create shading. You can also paint the cookie after the icing dries, but I thought I would try something different. Now I am just blending in a little bit of dark ivory with a little bit of orange. We're gonna have to let that crust before we add the second section, and we're just gonna repeat this process on all of the sections. So you can see I'm going a little heavier at the top and on the side, so I have enough dark icing to move into the ivory, and then adding more icing here, and I'm gonna do the one on the left. Here notice I'm going to add more icing here on the right there, and then we're just going to repeat the same process like so. Let it crust again, and then you can finish up the ends. And last cookie we're gonna do today is mimosa, a really popular cocktail, and I'm sure your mom is going to love it. So I used my edible marker to draw the outlines. Here I'm using blue royal icing, 15-second consistency. We're going to outline and make the glass portion, leaving the center undecorated, and then we're going to wait for the blue to crust, and then we're gonna do the drink part. That's going to be orange, and I'm going to create some bubbles. Now pipe the dots with dark orangey brown royal icing, and then pipe a dot in the center like so with white royal icing. And for some reason I decided to add some coarse sanding sugar. Let it dry and then use edible marker to finish the design. And now you're ready to treat your mom to the ultimate Mother's Day morning with these beautiful and equally delicious breakfast in bed cookies. Happy Mother's Day! Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to leave me a message in the comment section down below. And if you like my videos, don't forget to give them thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe. And lastly, don't forget to share this video on social media. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.